Hi, I'm Leigh, one of the founders of Aspire Advocacy, and I'd like to give you some IEP tips today on how to handle it when you're in the middle of or near the end of an IEP team meeting and you're not agreeing with how it's going. If you're in disagreement with every aspect of it, that's one conversation. You should definitely just sign for attendance, leave, and give me a call. I can help move that forward. If you're satisfied with some things, not satisfied with others, again, I can be a lot of help in moving that conversation forward. I can't promise I'll get you everything you're looking for, but having me there will make a substantive difference. So, some more specific tips, however. You get to the end, you're out of time, you've gone as far as you can go. You're sitting there thinking, I wish I could have gotten A, B, C, and D. What do? And of course, I'm not there. Please always sign for attendance. I've had a few clients, I refused to sign for attendance, and you were there. You were sitting there talking to these people. That just looks churlish and unhelpful. And I get that after an IEP meeting, sometimes you're feeling churlish and unhelpful. But observe the niceties. It costs nothing to sign your signature that yes, I'm there. It's perfectly acceptable, and in fact, we strongly recommend taking the IEP document with you. What you can do is take it home with you, read it over. It doesn't sound like you're going to want to sign the I agree with all aspects of this IEP box and sign it. There's a second box you can check that says I agree with everything except. You could say I agree with everything except the change in services, the differing goals, any specific item that you don't agree with, you can exclude under the I agree with this exclusion and list every last exclusion on that line and then sign and date the IEP. You can sign the bottom line which says essentially I agree with no aspects of this IEP. You may be looking at due process soon after that if you're not able to move the conversation forward, which gives us another option. You can sign what you agree to, and then you can keep talking to the district. I've had clients where we've worked pretty hard over the course of sometimes 6 months to a year to move the child from a specialized academic instruction or special day class to partial or full inclusion. And what happened is that we would call an IEP roughly every 2 months, meet with the district, discuss how the child's doing, discuss the district's objection, and we would just keep meeting to discuss it. And there's a point at which the district realized these people aren't going to stop. Typically, when you go that route, there's also a point where they can tell that you're fed up enough that you're probably going to escalate it, especially if I'm there. Because I never threaten. I simply ask questions that indicate that we know what the steps are, we know where we'd like the child to be, and what would we need from the district for that to happen. That's exactly the sort of conversations that you'd want to be having with the district. In most cases, the district have finally said, fine, we'll go to inclusion, and then we talk about supports and services to make the child successful in inclusion. That is absolutely an option. You can always simply go and file for due process, but I wouldn't recommend that because you want to show that you've been having a series of discussions and you're trying to work things out with your child's school district and you're trying to be a reasonable IEP team participant. So whenever possible, if there's room to keep the discussion moving forward, I suggest doing that. If there's things in the IEP that you can agree to, such as the child receiving the services listed, or even just some of the services listed, say, I agree with the OT service, but not the speech. If you can agree with some of the goals, you can list the goals you agree to, and you can exclude the goals you don't. But simply saying, I'm not going to sign the IEP, that means your child's still working on last year's goals, and that isn't in your child's best interest. So these are some ways that you can agree to disagree but still keep the process moving forward. I hope that's been helpful, and if I can be helpful, please give me a call. Thanks for watching. Bye.